Ois Dalet. Ois Dalet. Zehu ki ka'aretz chulu v'chagino chulu. So now he's going to give us the whole hemshech of the pasuk. That just like the mitzvahs, the Torah mitzvahs, which is the oretz and the gino, this is the Gan Eden Elyon and Gan Eden Tachten, they produce a level of tzmicha from the higher level. So when it comes Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, we also get from even a higher level, from Kedushosi L'mayla Mikdushasa. He's going to tie in the whole pasuk now. So, and this is the meaning of Kikaoretz Chulu, like the earth that gives out the Tzimcha of Chagina. So this is Gan Eden HaElyon V'Hatachten, the upper level of Gan Eden, and the lower level, which is Oretz and the Gina. This is the upper level Gan Eden, lower level Gan Eden. Yatzmichu Gilui Ziv Hashchina. They will sprout forth a revelation of the ray of the Shechina. There would be forthcoming from the mitzvahs a revelation of the Ziv Hashchina. Misarusa de Letato, that is from the Isarusa de Letato, and the work and the arousal from below through the service and the avodah of below, uzriya shamaisa mitzvahs, and the sowing of the act of mitzvahs is going to bring forth that gilui. Where does it grow from? Where does it come? That is from the level gilui mibchinas kodesh ha'elyon. That comes from the level of kodesh ha'elyon, the supreme kodesh. That's what we say. Asher kiddishanu b'mitzvos chulu. The Eibishter makes us kodesh through the mitzvahs. That means that when we do the mitzvahs, it brings a level of kedusha down from the level of kodesh ha'elyon, and the ray of that through our work comes down in Gan Eden, in the Gan Eden Elyon B'Tach. So that's all year. Kain Adnai Havaya. So the same thing is the Adnai Havaya will give us the tzedakah u'tehillah. Adnai Havaya is Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. Adnai Havaya. Havaya is spelled with Elikim. So Adnai is Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is the master, Hashem is the master of the world. And Havaya Elikim, we'll see later on, is the level of Yom Kippur. You have both Havaya and Elikim in the same Shem. Havaya in the Yud Kivavke, because it has both in Yonah minute. So, what do we say? Kain Adnai Havaya, which is Beis Shemis Elu. These two names of Hashem, of Havaya, Adnai and Havaya, Elu Hamizgalim Berosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. They come on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. Shem Adnai, the name of Adnai, Hainu B'chinas Rosh Hashanah. That's Rosh Hashanah. Why? Kihu B'chinas Shetamlichuni Aleichem. Rosh Hashanah is the time that we make Hashem a king over us, and that is Dina, the Malchusa Dina. The judgment of the government is the judgment. That means that is Oisios Adnai. The word Dina, the judgment, the din, the law of the government is the law. The word Dina is the level of Adnai. So the Adnai is the Dina, is the Malchusa. So that's the level of Adnai. What about Havaya? V'shem Havaya b'nikud elikim. When you have the name Havaya b'nikud elikim, Hainu b'chinas Yom Kippurim. That is the level of Yom Kippurim. So we're saying, Kain Adnai Havaya Yatzmiach Gilui Oir Elyon Yosef will give even a higher level, just like we bring a higher through the mitzvahs, we bring a level of tzmich, a higher level. So on Yom Kippur, the name of Adna Havaya will be Mabshich Agila Yosef, even higher than the level of Kodesh Elyon. What's that level? This will be just from Arazlo above. It doesn't come through the Sarusa de Latata. That will be Sarusa de Le'ela of the level of the Kedushasi Shalamaylo Kedushascha. My Kedusha is higher than the Kedusha. In other words, the Kedusha that you bring about through the Sarusa de Latata, there is a higher level of Kedusha which is brought down only through the Sarusa de Le'ela, without the Sarusa de Latata. And that's the level of Yom Kippur. Balzen Nemar, Adnai Havaya, Ato Achiloi Sochulu. We say by that Moshe Rabbeinu Veschanon, by Mashkos Pash Veschanon Aposik, Ato Achiloi So, by Mashkos Pash Shlach Dibra Maschel, Vato Yidno Adnai Niso. Va'ayin Mashakosu Bebir Aposik, Bosi Legani, Be'inyan Orisi Moiri, Va'ayin Parsha Shlach Uvnitas Aleph Baramas Shom Gabei Klas Omen Isle Lekuchebrichu. It says there's three worlds that Hashem has, and that goes in that's Keneged Kaned Ne'elyen V'atach Nechulu Yu'in Shom. I know the third one, but here we're talking about the level of Kodesh, and then we're talking about the level of Kedushos L'mayim Kedushas. V'ayim b'parshas Boi Daf Lamed Hei Aleph Gabi, the Zora begins so. Mashekosu Shom b'migdash Melech b'shem Rabbi Chaim Vital. Gam yesh loymar shaychus l'gilui b'china zu b'Rosh Hashanah v'Yom Kippurim. Also, the connection to this level, the level of what? Of Adnai Elikim. What is it? B'Rosh Hashanah Kippur. Hine ksiv. Vayita Hashem Elikim gan be'eden mikedem. So he created the gan be'eden from kedem. So over here it says Vayita Hashem Elikim. Hashem Elikim. Hashem Elikim Shem Molei. It's not like Elikim, Hashem, Elikim in the name of Havai, but the full, a full name. Ayin Barabis Bereshis Parshas Tes Vov Ubezer Cheligimul Nosek Kuflam Ches Beis. So Behine Vayosem Shom Eso Odom Asher Yotzad. So what happens? So you have Hashem Elikim. So by creating the Gan Eden, so Hashem places the person that He has created in the Gan Be'eden. That was Hoya Rosh Hashanah. That was on Rosh Hashanah, Yebre Od Marisha. And the day that Hashem created Od Marisha, that's the day that He put him in Gan Eden. This is what we say, Kisamecha Cho Yitzircha Began Eden Mikedem. So your Creator, when He created you, He rejoiced you. The Gan Eden Mikedem, Mikedem. What does it mean Mikedem? Hainu Beli Isarusa de Latata, Elam Mipnei Kichofetz Chesed. That was Mikedem means from the beginning. That was without the Isarusa de Latata. That was level Chofetz Chesed, because that's when He just created him. He first created him, so that was the level of Beli Isarusa de Latata. I'm big more pick down the psochim be inyan mikedem. I must kosu. Save the master yanichadis. Hine lachein gam bechol Rosh Hashanah mis'eru bechinas zu liyos bechagina zruel chulu kein chulu is mitzad the level of isarusa de le'ela, which is higher than isarusa de letato. Well, so that's why it explains in the parentheses the idea why on Rosh Hashanah we get that level of Yisrus Leila, which is beyond Yisrus Tata, which is the Havai Elikim. Why much because we do a mask kikash Shema Kadosh. All right. So what do we say? So Cain, which are revealed in Hashem Yom Kippur, will be Matzmiach Tzedoko Utihilo. There's two things. So it's Tzedoko Utihilo. So you're going to explain Tzedoko Utihilo. Matzmiach Tzedoko Tzedoko Hu Bechinas Shem Adnai. Tzedoko is the name of Adnai. Why? Because Adnai is Aleph Din. The word Adnai is put together from two words, Adnai and Din. Shahadin nimtak al yidei Aleph. Aleph Din meaning that the Din, the judgment, is sweetened through the Aleph. Aleph Din. The Aleph sweetens the Din. What is Aleph? Aleph is the level, the word Pella, Pella Elyon. That is like the higher level, like the level of Keser, the level of Pella. So the Adnai means that the level, the higher level of Aleph and Pella sweetens Din. So Yatzmiach Tzedok, this is also the Tzedok. No Gamkin Inyan Tzedok. This is also the Tzedok. Tzedakah is what? Tzedek Hey. Tzedakah is Tzedek Hey. What does it mean, the Tzedek Hey? Kitzedek Ihudin. Righteous. You know, when you say righteous, Tzedek is judgment. Ukshenimta Kadin al yidei hechsodim. But when the judgment is sweetened by the 5 chesodim, then it's nikra tzedakah. Then it's called tzedakah. The hay is the sweetening of the hay chesodim, the level of din. Meshikosu bezer b'chukoisai. Daf Yud Gimel Amud Beis. Ba'ayin b'haramas sham u'b'idra zutra. Daf Reish Sadik D'Alef Amud Beis. Daf Reish Sadik Beis Amud Alef. Alzen Nemar. And about that's what it says. Tzedek molo yimenecha. Tzedek fills your right hand. I get that. In other words, the molo yimenecha means through the hay. Because that has the, I guess, the level of the hay, which sweetens the dinner. What does this all mean? What does it mean that tzedek itself is justice, and then you have to sweeten the din? God is righteous in all of his ways. But also it says uksiv, and also the pasuk says Tzadik Hashem tzedakah oyev, that he loves tzedakahs. Pirush Tzadik Hainu Bal Tzedakah. What does it mean? He's a Tzadik Hashem, that he's a thus righteous. Derech Moshul Tzedakah Hagashmis Shenitenes Leoni. For example, you give tzedakah physically to a poor person, to vitalize, to release the spirit of the dowry. Hashem himself does tzedakah. Hashem vitalizes the spirit of the low, those who are dowry. All the worlds are considered like nothing. Hashem gives them chayis, which means he goes down to the low and gives them chayis. So that means that Hashem does tzedakah. That means tzaddik Hashem. Ikar Hamshocha Zu Iberesh Hashanah. Main Hamshocha, then Hashem does tzedakah is on Rosh Hashanah. Because on Rosh Hashanah, ki Iberesh Hashanah nimshach gamkein oir v'shefa lekis l'chol echad. There's a light and a flow, godly flow, to each one b'toida and avaida l'chol Hashem. For the whole year, the Eibishter gives the flow. K'noida, v'pirush ki chok li Yisrael, u'mishpat le'likei Yaakov. That's the chok the amount for the Yidden and the judgment of Yaakov, that what they're able to bring down with their light through the davening and the Torah and Avodah in the service of Hashem. So it's not the pshat that you're given. We say mishpat lelecha. I mean, there's judgment. It says the language of mishpat. What does it mishpat mean? Mishpat means that the shahadam nidum benafshe, that the person is judged by his soul. Eich v'kamo yimshach gila lekuz benafshe. How does it going to be benafshe? And what do we base it on? And the way the judge goes, it depends on the action of the person. Shana Avra, the past year. That's how the Hamshach is going to come. Mishpat ihi rachamim. Even though it says judgment, but it's compassion. Commission kosu bidrezut rishon. V'chein kosu b'rabis be'ester b'posuk yimei chashverish. Al posuk hu Hashem Elokeinu v'chol haaretz mishpatom. He is God in all the land mishpatom. Should be the racham of le'olam. That is, the mishpat is the racham, the compassion for always. V'hainu, and that is shaharachamim mamtikim hadin. The rachamim, the compassion, they sweeten the judgment. So you have judgment, and you have what a person is worth. You have the ma'asim that the person does. That is the mishpat, but yet it comes through the rachamim that they sweeten it. V'ayin b'zoyer v'yikra daf tezvav sefer madal v'amid beis b'parshas Mamer daf kuf b'parshas lachal b'zayin apostle mal kitzadim melech shalom chulayim sham. And this is what we say, L'cho Hashem Tzedakah, V'loinu Boishes Hapon. Saying Tzedakah. What is Hashem the Tzedakah? That Hashem gives us, and we are ashamed. We have a shameful face. Because we missed out and we didn't do things the right ways, we're ashamed. Because through the violations, the person didn't get all the hamshachas that he should have. Hainu b'chinas hashpol lebali tshuva. That Hashem Tzedakah gives to those who return, those about the tshuvas. So idei achatoyim v'avonos chosru alavushim han nasim b'torah mitzvos. Because we are lacking those garments that come from Torah mitzvahs, which we didn't do. So we have a lacking. So the Eibishter Tzedakah fills them for us. And this is what it means, why? Because when we're missing those garments, we're ashamed because we're coming without the proper garments that we should have had, but we have mistakes, we don't have them. We say the same give us understanding of and that way we won't be embarrassed. So we're saying if we do the mitzvahs Hashem, then we don't have anything to be embarrassed about. If a person sins, then he's on the level that we're ashamed. So the embarrassment is because we're missing out. So when we do the mitzvahs, we say v'lei nevish. When we last is l'kayim v'lei nevish, but otherwise it's v'lo nevish sapor. But not only are we embarrassed because of that, but tshuva also comes. It's called beis sapor. Achaldei tshuva the gam gebichinas beis sapor. But tshuva through tshuva, which is also could be considered called the Boish's Panim, because like we say, Yideh Boishis, that you have a fear of shame, to be embarrassed from the light of the Ein Sof. Person turns to Hashem with the shame, embarrassed, and blow the Boishis upon him. Yideh Boishis, so then you get L'cho Hashem Atzdoko. That fills the malis to fill in all the blemishes to the 13 attributes of the mercy. So that's the end of the first thing in the pasuk. It says, "Kain Adnai Elikim." The level of tzedakah. And also Tehillah. What is Tehillah? Tehillah hu nimshach m'shem havaya b'nikud elikim shu b'chinas yom kippurim. Tehillah comes from the name of Hashem Yud Kei Vav Kei when it's vowelized with the nikud elikim. It's read elikim. Shu b'chinas yom kippurim. Pirush Tehillah. What does it mean, Tehillah? Tehillah means Loshen Hilul v'Shavach, a language of praise, being Mahal v'Shavach. Begam, also, Loshen Bihila Neiroi, Bihila Neiroi meaning a shining of the lamp, Ha'orah b'B'chinas Gilu, a shine in a revealed way. It's praising and a shine. Ushneim Emes, they're both Zeh Nimshach B'Zeh. One comes from the other. Kol hamishama tahalel yudke. How do we get to Behilu Neirei, to the Hallel, to Lashon of Hallel? Is through saying the Kol HaNeshama. When we organize the praise of Hashem. That's when we do the Pesukah de Zimra before the davening. That you bring down the godly shine, ray on your soul. That means that through the level of Tehillah, to praising the Eibishter, we bring Behillah Neira, we bring the idea of light on one's soul. What happens? Through Orezu, not only does it give you a godly light for the soul, but through that Ha'oreh, that also pushes away the darkness of the blockings of the Nefesh HaBamis. The Hallelujah. That's why we call the Ilulim of Hallelujah, we call them Pesukei de Zimra. Verses. Zimra means song, but Zimra also means Milshoin Zemir Aritzim, meaning cutting off the Aritzim, the powerful ones. Nichrusu, the Nizburu HaKlipsa Mastirim. You prune away, you cut down and you prune away the Mastirim, those who block. That's a meaning of Zimra. To cut away. Last is the come of a goy. You have the exaltness of Hashem in their throat, and that gives them the double-edged sword in their hands in order to revenge the goyim. Through the level of a which is that brings down the Chera Pipias Chulu. Is to remove the darkness of Nefesh HaBamis. Yom HaKippurim, Yom Kippur, which is the level. So this is always Kippur Yichaper Alechem L'Tayed Eschem Chulu. Then Nemar, does it say Hashem Abaye Yatzmiach Tehillah? Hashem Tehillah Zu Benefesh Neged Kol Hagoyim. Hashem will sprout that Tehillah, that level of that Hillel, that Ha'oreh, Benefesh will give it to you, Neged Kol Hagoyim, against all the Goyim. I know. Means you have the Havaya B'nikud Alikim, so you have both things. One, that there should be the revelation Nefesh Alikis. So you should come to the level of Kol Neshama Tal Yudke to come to the level of praising Hashem. His so that's number one. One is to get to the level of being mahal. And the second step is that way you push away the darkness of Nefesh Hamis. And lekach ne'amar Shem Havaya B'nikud Elikim. That's why Havaya is here with the vowels of Elikim. Why? Shem Zeh Matzmiach Tehillah Zu. Havaya B'nikud Elikim brings this Tehillah. Ki Hagilu Al Yidei Shem Havaya. The revelation of the Ha'orah comes from the name of Yudkei Vavkei. By Yidei Nikud Elikim, Litches HaChoshech Ol Havinu Chatumah. Through the Nikud Elikim, that pushes away the darkness and to remove the spirit of impurity. Another thing of the Havaya and Elikim the Nikud, the Gam, and also, Derech Klal, we face two obstacles that we face. Aleph Nimshach Mechesed the Klippa. One comes from the Chesed the Klippa. Hu HaKrilus that is the coldness which causes us not to put effort in doing good, in the positive, that doing the mitzvahs. There's a klippa of chesed, of coldness to it. Rabbeis, chinas gvura the klippa. That is the level of gvura of klippa. Shuachamimus, that's the heat, ligrim taivus isur chulu, to cause the desire for the isur. And the details of all the desires and all things that prevent come from these two levels, from the chesed of klippa and gevura of klippa. When you have the name of Havaya with vowel of Elikim, shubuchinas chesed the gevura, el yonim the kedusha, those are the chesed with the supreme of kedusha. The Chrosim Beis Moinim Hanal, that is the way to cut off, that's the cutting off these two preventions. That's why Yom Kippur we say 7 times, Havaya hu halikim, Havaya halikim. Ki ha'oir, the Havigil Yom Kippurim, u'mebchina Shem Havaya b'nikud halikim, because it comes from Havaya, vowel as halikim. Oil Shloimar be'inyan ki ka'aretz api ma shekosut aposuk zois hamitzvah asher tziva Hashem lasis ba'aretz shma Yisrael chulu ayin shom. Ma shekosut shom yuvam b'toisus biur inyan ki ka'aretz kein chulu. What is it? K'moi sha'at tzmicha b'kriyah shma. Just like the growth in Kriya Shema is that you come to the level of B'chol Meidecha, Kain, Nimshach B'Rosh Hashanah, V'Yom HaKippurim, B'chinas Smicha, B'chinas Tshuva, Ilah, you get a growth from a higher level of Tshuva, B'china Yeni Yesef, from a higher level. Ki Yesh, Kamo Madreges, B'chinas Rotzen Elgein, the B'chol Meidecha. There's various different levels of the Rotzen Elyon in the level of B'chol Meidecha. Kimivur HaPosik Hazinu HaShemayim, as of the Pasuk. So in other words, there's a higher level. You have a tzmicha from a higher level when it comes on Yom Kippur. What is the pshat of the idea that the Torah hinges one or the other? Just like the Oretz and the Gina, Kain Adnai. What's the connection? Why do we say that it's the level of just like this? Kain Adnai. Because this growth on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur that is relative to the song the how we fulfill the mitzvah all the year. So it is hints on Kikaretz Chagina, like the mitzvahs we did. Moshe Kos, like the Pasuk says, Mishpat Lelekei Yaakov. That's one thing. So the Gam, and also the Tshuva Talim Mitzvah. It also hinges on Tshuva. We just said that it comes to Rusud Leila without this Rusud Tato. Yav Shedim Shech Mebechinas is Rusud Leila Shalamayla B'Dusha Mishech LeMaitze Mitzvah Lashon Chulu. Even though we said that it comes from a higher level of Rusud Leila, which is from the level we say Kedushas LeMaila B'Dushascha. It's higher than Alkoza. Yet on top of that, still Ashro Mashoch Azul Ifyerach Hashleimus Animshech. It still goes by relative to how much you completed, how much you succeeded all year round. This is why we say, Kain Adnai Havayi Yatzmiach, based on the Kana Yatzmiach. Hainu. Abidei Chuvatato, Shubechinas, Shem Adnai. So Adnai, that's Shuvah Tator. And by the Shuvah Ilo, Shuvah Chin Hashem Avai B'nigid Elikim. And Behem, Chinas Pnimius, Eretz Tator, the Ilo. And they are the inner of the Eretz Tator, the lower and upper level of Eretz. The two levels of Teshuvah. Keser Kedushas Heim Ba'aretz. Because when you look about Eretz Yisrael, literally, in Eretz Yisrael, we say there are 10 levels of Kedushas. To the extent, there's 10 levels. You have the Holy of Holiness. So, from Yerushalayim, the Beis Ha'ad, the Harabai, the Mishnah counts there 10 Kedushas. So, what is Kedushas? That is the Pnimis Eser Kedushas. That's the inner of the 10 Kedushas. Over there comes the forgiving of the sin. Nikra, and that is called Hahora Toiv V'Halavonin. It's called the good mountain and the Lebanon. What is the Lebanon? Shamal bin Avedisayim, that it whitens the sins. That means that will comes forgiveness. That comes from the Kodesh HaKadosh, that comes from the Primis, that comes from the Eretz Shuvah law. This is in Barabas Rish Parsha Veikra. So the Parshas Emer Ksiv by regards to Yom Kippur Shabbos Shabbosin Hu Lochem Hu Loshen Zocher. So the difference is Shabbos Shabbosin Hu Lochem. That Yom Kippur is with a male, masculine. It says Hu Lochem. That Hu is Loshen Zocher. Then over Parshas Achrei. Siv Shabbos Shabbosin, he lochem. He over there he is the Lashon Nekeva. Hainu al derech. This is similar idea that Ish Mazriya Tchila he led us Nekeva. First it's who, then you have a Nekeva. The Hainu. Sham Shoche he Mimchinas Rusud Leila Levad. When it comes just from Esrus Leila, Shein Shleimus Besrusud Latata. When you haven't completed the Esrusud Latata. So then it's just who, and then you get a he, because you get a nekeva, you let a nekeva. That's why it says Parshas Achshav Shabbosin Yilochem, because it's not a complete avodah. Then the pasuk says Chukas Olam. It's still Chukas Olam. So the Kolmokon, notwithstanding the fact that it's lacking It still comes in the way of chukas eilam. Hainu. That means to say that it's not, the generation is not so fitting. We haven't really accomplished, done the shleimus and Torah mitzvahs to gain the shleimus over here. Shabbos Habosin. Then Shabbos Habosin, he lost in the cave. Then, so Mashenke, the Parshas Emeksiv, Shabbos Habosin, Hu Lochem. Over there it's Hu Lochem, B'Hainu. Because over there, Levish and Amarvi Nisim Esnafshe Seichem, Litisha Hulu. Ainu B'chinis Rusul Tat B'Shleimus. Over there, we're talking about that it was B'Shleimus. I said it's Metshuva. That's why there's a Zohar, and that's why the Hu is the Shleimus.